Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Think Clinical podcast. I'm really so excited about what we are going to talk about today, because not only is this becoming a very important topic in the healthcare space, it's becoming an important topic in every single industry, and it's something that people are increasingly getting anxious about, as well as getting very excited about. So it would be a very important conversation because it's going to raise a lot of questions, which obviously I will not have all the answers for you, but it will trigger a conversation that would help all of us look into where this is leading us in as far as the future of healthcare is concerned. So welcome once again. My name is Hamza. This is the Think Clinical podcast, and I appreciate you all. Alright, so today we are going to talk about the ethics around AI in healthcare. So we are beginning to see AI becoming a very important aspect of various industries, and the healthcare industry was obviously one of them. And the adoption of AI in clinical practice has become something that is gradually creeping up, and if you are of the belief that AI is not coming into the sector soon, then I think you have to redefine that reality, because AI is already in the system. Regardless of what we think, AI has a part to play in healthcare, but obviously it also has a part to play as far as what we owe the patients in privacy, what we owe the patients as far as making sure we give them the right representation of whatever we feel or we think is wrong with them is also concerned. So we have to look at this holistically, and I'm excited especially to talk about this, because the first part of this conversation, what I would like us to do is to pay attention to what AI has the potential of doing for us in the healthcare industry, and for you especially as a healthcare entrepreneur. But then keeping at the back of your mind that there are ethical concerns that we may have to start thinking about as we adopt AI and try to explore all the potential that it can give us as business people, as healthcare providers. All the support we can get from it, it's important that we're able to get around those. So this conversation is going to be looking at, hey, this is what we can get from AI, but then this is what we need to keep at the back of our mind. And these are questions you need to be asking yourself when you are using it, to make sure that you are in a space where you are optimizing its use and its safety, as far as patient safety, patient privacy, information privacy is concerned. So let's dive right into it. And again, if you haven't done so already, please remember to subscribe, like and share, so that anytime we post a video, you're able to get a notification to come and view it. Now, the integration of AI into healthcare has sparked a lot of debate, and there are people who think AI absolutely has no role because we haven't determined exactly how we are going to be managing or regulating it. And there are others who think we should be working with AI yesterday. We should be adopting and running with AI and all the benefits it comes with in the healthcare industry. We should be doing that since yesterday. So we have a situation where two schools of thought are looking at the same issue in different ways, and this is an opportunity for us to sit back and ask the question whether or not it's time for us to start playing around with AI, regardless of the fact that we do understand or don't understand what it has the potential of doing. And my question off the top of my head would be yes, because whether we would like it or not, AI is in the system, it's come to stay. AI is not going anywhere. AI is beginning to gain roots in the healthcare industry. AI is beginning to help doctors, help nurses, help clinicians in general become more efficient. It's helping hospital and healthcare administrators become more efficient. It's increasing the scope of thinking as far as what we need to be considering clinically and administratively. It's increasing that scope. So there is absolutely no doubt that AI has a role to play. Now, let's look at just the spectrum of things and the transformative benefits of AI in healthcare. The first and most important thing that's creeping up really strong and really fast is in the space of predictive medicine. So when you have the ability as a practitioner, and if you've practiced before, to be able to foresee disease outbreaks just by using machine learning to be able to predict that this is what is going to happen, and it puts you in a position where you can proactively plan, especially from a public health perspective, for the impact of whatever those outbreaks will look like, or even to prevent it if you have the resources to, or you have the infrastructure to prevent it from happening. Because AI has the capacity to be able to analyze a large chunk of data, and is able to see patterns in how certain diseases and certain outbreaks have happened over in the past, and what those indicators for outbreaks look like, and whether or not you have those indicators available. So this is becoming increasingly important because the public health space is beginning to benefit a lot from just having large and huge chunks of data that sometimes become highly inefficient and very difficult for the human capacity to be able to analyze everything at the same time. So this actually puts us in a very proactive way, or proactive position when it comes to looking at disease and disease outbreaks. Now, when we look at how this enhances patient outcomes, and I'm talking about AI in general, we have a lot of work again being done in the field of precision medicine. Now, I already said we are able to analyze a lot of bigger data sets, so we are able to look at algorithms, and so you are able to actually look at how you can offer some form of personalized treatment, and these are tailored towards the person's genetic makeup. And that is why we are getting to now, where treatment for diseases doesn't have to be a one-size-fits-all. It has to be tailored in a way that it fits the person's genetic makeup, and this is an important component of what we should be thinking about right now. Now, we've talked about predictive medicine, we've talked about precision medicine, but we also need to look at the very important aspect of early detection of diseases, especially cancers, where AI now has the ability, and it's being incorporated. It's actually happening. I've seen and I've used imaging software, imaging tools that actually have AI embedded in them, and they're able to help you see beyond what the human capacity would allow you to see. So it's able to point out things that could be signs of early disease, especially for cancer treatments, because, and you all agree with me that your success of treating a specific cancer is very dependent on the time or the stage at which you diagnose the cancer. So some of these AI integrations into imaging software is beginning to point humans in the direction of things that they wouldn't have looked out for, to say these are things that could possibly be pointing to signs of an early cancer, so to probably do something about it right now. Now, all these things I'm talking about in the space of early detection, the space of precision medicine, and even in predictive analysis, is in the space of clinical care. But then when we look at administrative processes, every hospital wants their operations to be efficient. And now there are ways where AI is used and integrated into the software, into your electronic healthcare system. It's able to help you streamline your administrative processes. It's able to help you reduce wait times. It's able to help you optimize where you allocate your resources. And it's able to now help healthcare providers, instead of focusing on their schedule, whether it's confirmed, who is coming, how patient interaction is going, how patient scheduling is going, AI is able to carry out all those tasks for you, and as a clinician, frees you up to be able to offer clinical care, especially for the single or group doctor offices who need the time to be able to run both administrative roles and also do clinical practice. Now, when you look at all these things, obviously AI is beginning to play a very important role in healthcare. But then this is where the conversation starts, because we need to be careful and we need to look at what those ethical concerns are, because behind all this great good stuff that is happening with AI, there are some concerns that we need to keep at the back of our mind, and there are questions that we need to ask ourselves all the time, because once you start getting these benefits, you may get carried away and forget that there are issues that may arise in the future which may more or less negate everything or all the positive things that you've experienced from using AI or integrating AI into your system. So before you do that, I'll ask you integrate AI into your systems. The first ethical concern you should ask yourself every day is that, am I guaranteeing patient data privacy? Now, if you are using AI, and for anybody who knows how AI works, you need to collect and analyze a vast majority of personal information or personal health data. So this is a significant concern, and patients might say, look, I've given you informed consent. I know you will not you use the data responsibly or use my information responsibly. And then the question I have here, and that's something you should ask yourself, is the consent fully informed, or are patients aware of the extent to which their data analysis can be shared? Whatever we've been analyzed, do they understand the extent to which that can be shared? Is it really informed? Do they really understand the scope of what could come out of this conversation? And again, as I said, these are questions that you have to keep at the back of your mind, and I obviously don't have the answers for you, and even if I did, those probably are answers that I have for myself when I ask myself these questions as I use or explore the advantages of AI in my practice, in my business, in my day-to-day as far as the healthcare administration is concerned. But you need to be sure that your patients and the information they're giving you is safe and is kept private. Secondly, AI runs on algorithms, and we need to look at the situation where in running those algorithms there could be some bias. Now, AI systems are only as good as the data that they are trained on. So the data you put in it, the data you use to train it, will determine how good and how accurate and how efficient it will be. So if you feed it with data that more or less, if it's trained with data from one demographic, for instance, maybe you're just looking at African American population, you're just looking at Africans, you're just looking at Latinos, you're just looking at Asians. If you feed it with information from just a specific or one demographic information, you will find that in trying to recommend remedies for you for other people in different demographic information or with different demographic information, it may give you suggestions that may not be completely accurate as far as that population is concerned, and it's just because of the data you feed it with and the information you put it in. So if I build an AI system for the African market and for Africans, in replicating that system in the United States or in Europe, we need to look at different things and feed it with different information to be able to look at things in a broader scope beyond what it was initially trained with. So that's something, again, you need to keep at the back of your mind. Are you feeding the system with information that it requires to be able to meet the needs of the diverse population of the people that you serve? And if that's the case, then you are in a good place. If not, you need to carefully look at the feedback you're getting from the system. The third one, and the third concern, which is a legitimate concern, is the area of job displacement. And we've seen this happen, and we are seeing this happen already in the healthcare industry. We are seeing AI systems being integrated in radiological, in X-ray softwares, and it's making diagnoses on its own which are really accurate, and it's even beyond what the human eye and the human mind can comprehend. We are seeing AI systems being built to assist in robotic surgeries, and we are seeing situations where now people don't even need to be in the room or work with these robotics, because these AI systems have been programmed and have been trained in such a way that they are able to carry out very, very minor procedures without any intervention. We've seen AI systems run hospital schedules, chat with patients, do insurance verifications, return patient phone calls. We've seen this being done in hospitals. Now, this is a job that would have been done by people, that would have been done by individuals. But considering AI having the ability to do it, being more efficient in how it does it, there is now the shift away from the human population and towards the AI as the resource for some of these services that will be needed. So you're no longer having patient care coordinators. If you're going to have, or you have the capacity to, your hospital has the capacity for 3 patient care coordinators, you probably need 1 if you have an AI system that is able to do all the other things, repetitive actions for you. If your hospital needed 4 dentists and you have the ability or a system that is automated, you probably need 2 or 1. If your hospital needs 1 assistant or 2 assistants, and the AI system is now serving as an assistant to the surgeon, not surgically, but it's able to run the system, and the surgeon just has to supervise the process, and the role of the assistant is lost. So jobs are being displaced, and jobs will be displaced. I guess my advice here is, and I said this in one of the conversations I had recently with a group of very young students, and I told them that the fact that we have the fear of AI displacing our jobs does not mean that we should stop doing what we have planned to do. Our advantage here as humans is that we have the ability to evolve, we have the ability to learn new skill sets, we have the ability to grow beyond what AI is doing right now. And the more we grow and the more we evolve and the more we look at areas where we still stay relevant as humans and part of the process, areas where you need that human think through the process because of what is specifically happening, and it sets it up for a good to properly leverage the system, become more efficient, and especially if you're a business person, to be able to look at how you grow your business without increasing your overhead, because you can explore all these advantages from AI systems and you can use them. And the last bit of this is going to be on accountability. Who is responsible if something goes wrong? If the AI system gives you feedback on a patient, who is actually responsible if it's not accurate, if it leads to adverse patient outcomes? Who is responsible? Is it the person who developed the AI system? Is it the physician who executed what, or the suggestions that came from the AI system to complement what his thinking was? Is it the hospital who adopted and implemented the AI system? Who is actually responsible when decisions or feedback that comes from these systems is not accurate and leads to some form of adverse patient outcome? So these are questions that I want us to keep processing and thinking through. And once we're able to get ahead of these and get control of these and keep thinking about these, is there any bias? Is there any form of data privacy? Are we breaching any data privacy laws? What jobs are being displaced here? How can those jobs be modified? What role can those people play within your organization to better help you in your AI adoption? And who is really accountable here? Are we taking the full accountability for anything our AI system tells us that does not lead to favorable outcomes? Are we holding the AI developers of the company responsible? Are we holding the hospital administration? Who is actually responsible in this case? And if we are able to get all these closed up, we shouldn't have any issues. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode, and I love this episode because this at the end keeps me thinking and it keeps me considering all the different things that we probably are missing whilst working with AI. But there's no doubt that AI has a role to play in healthcare and the future of healthcare. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share, and we will see you in our next episode. Have a good one.